Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Bull City Hangout 318. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter, that's Durham's online community paper, which you can check out at DurhamSkywriter.com. Now, it's Bull City Hangout. I tell you what's happening today in Durham. And I do invite you to click on that link, which I'm going to put in a couple of seconds. So I will put in the link on the Durham Skywriter Facebook page so you can join me on camera, shoot the breeze, say hello, promote yourself and or your business, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that real quick. Join me. I was in such a hurry knowing that I was a few minutes late. I actually played music today at the Durham Center for Senior Life. They had an Irish breakfast for St. Patrick's Day. So I played some Irish music. So I just added it to Facebook. Now let me go to Facebook and put the link on that page. You get to see behind the scenes. So I use a program called StreamYard, and that enables me, there we are, that enables me to broadcast to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X all at the same time. But I only put the link on the Facebook page because it's safer that way. Okay, let's see. Start out with the word page. That is the government and nonprofit information page, where there are some really great programs and services being offered by local nonprofits, the city, county, and state. So just go up and down the page and see what pertains to you. For example, you can see information on free tax prep, help with your heating bill. Ooh, today's 8. Wait, what's today? Today's 18th, right? You have until the 29th. Oh, you know what? The 29th is Good Friday. You only have until next Thursday to sign up for the LEAP program. That's the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, where if you're like me and you have your heat as part of your electric bill, maybe you haven't fallen behind your heating bill, but if, like me, again, if it's tied into your electric and you're behind in your electric bill, which includes your heating bill, you can definitely get help with that. Now, if you have like gas, whatever, they can still help you. So I'm making this distinction because we haven't had a bad winter, and not everybody will be behind their heating bill this year because we're having it so easy this year. But again, you can be behind your electric bill. And if that's tied to your heating bill, this is a good opportunity for you to catch up if you can read between the lines that I'm stating here. Okay, so definitely sign up by end of day Thursday. Check the word page. It's also listed on the senior page, Senior Scope, and go ahead and sign up for that as soon as you can. Okay, there's a city vacancy I'd like to tell you about. And basically, this is where people share their experience, their knowledge. Sometimes they kick off their political careers by joining these committees or commissions. And let me just find it real quick, because all you have to do is to let them know that you're interested. And then let's see if I can find it. There it is. So by end of day Wednesday, let them know if you would like to join the Participatory Budgeting Steering Committee. In other words, helping to decide where the money is spent. So if you're interested in that, then definitely let them know by end of day Wednesday. Click on the link. You can see what's expected of you. Now, next week, they're going to be trying to fill vacancies on the Durham Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission and also the Durham City County Environmental Affairs Board. So if you're interested, again, check it out by going to the word page. The Durham County Libraries are all open until 8, and they reopen tomorrow at 9:30. Then Bragtown reopens tomorrow at 10. Okay, let's see. Durham Tech Small Business Center has a couple of things going on. Let's scroll down to that. Barb is waiting in the wings. Bring her on right after I do the weather. So let me just let you know that if you're an entrepreneur or you'd like to start your own business, starting on Thursday, there's going to be a 4-week series of classes, in-person classes, at the Durham Tech Small Business Center, which is at 701 West Main Street downtown. So it's called Leading Your Business, Facing the Unknowable Future. So part 1 is this Thursday at 10:30 and it'll go until noon. And then the next 3 Thursdays, they'll be having parts 2, 3, and 4. So you can read about it by going to the Word page. Now let's see what classes are being offered across the state. There's one class today, Financing Your Small Business. You can take this class for free online. It's on Zoom or whatever, from 6 until 7:30, so go ahead and sign up for that. No strings attached. These classes are totally free. They're offered across the state at many of the different community colleges. So, let me let you know about tomorrow, because early afternoon tomorrow, there's going to be another free class, Real Estate Basics for Business Owners. That's going to be tomorrow from 2 until 3. Sign up for that one too. Okay. Oh, SCORE is going to have something tomorrow. Let me scroll down. SCORE is the Service Corps of Retired Executives. You can get a mentor. You can meet them on the phone or in person. Their office has moved from Durham to Chapel Hill, but they still serve Durham. So there's going to be a free webinar, and it's live, so you can ask questions. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, there's going to be a free webinar, Mastering Credit Repair, a guide to improve your credit score. Very important if you're going to start a business and take out loans, et cetera, et cetera. And now let's go to the health page, To Your Health. That's your COVID numbers if you're interested. You have to look them up, but I do have the links for you if you're interested in that. Let's see. Now, as you might have heard this past December, they've been trying to get people, they being the state, trying to get people to sign up for Medicaid. If you have been turned down because they're saying you're making too much money, try again, because as of December 1st, they raised the ceiling, so people who are making a little bit more money can be accepted. So if you just missed out, try again. And I have more information. Some people are saying, well, what does Medicaid cover if you're not familiar? So they help people who are ages 19 to 64, and then they help with all kinds of stuff. Primary care, hospital services, maternity and postpartum care, vision and hearing services, prescription drug benefits, behavioral health services, preventive and wellness services, dental and oral health services, and medical-related devices and other therapies. That's a lot. So if you're interested, go. There's all kinds of different ways to sign up, and you can read about it by going to the health page. So you can do it yourself, or you can ask for help from 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟. Let's see what else is happening. Oh, Blood Connection's having a blood drive. Let's scroll down to that. So Blood Connection, they're collecting donations of blood. You can help save lives, literally. So if you'd like to do that, tomorrow they will be at Duke BME PhD Student Association. That's in the Bryan Research Center, 101 Coal Pile Drive, from 11 until 4. So you might want to use your GPS for that one. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but definitely check that out. That's going to be from 11 until 4. Okay, let's see. Oh, HELP is open tomorrow. Okay. HELP is the Health Equipment Loan Program. They're at 4206 North Roxborough Street. They're only open two days a week. Tuesdays, 10 to 2, and then Fridays, 1 to 4. Is it 1 to 4 or 1 to 5? 1 to 5. So here's what they do. They take donations of things like wheelchairs and canes and knee scooters, tub transfer benches, etc. And then they clean them up, repairs necessary, and then they loan them out to people who need them and can't otherwise afford them. And if you've tried to buy a wheelchair, they're costly. So you can borrow these items for 3 months at a time. So if you need them for longer than 3 months, and give them a call, they'll probably say, go ahead and keep it for another 90 days. Hopefully they will. They usually do. But anyway, it's a wonderful service, and it's run by Durham County. So check them out tomorrow from 10 until 2, 4206 North Roxborough Street. And now we're going to go to the health events page. So we're click on the big blue button, and that'll take us to where the support group information is. Tomorrow's the 19th. Let's see what we have. Now, with today being the 18th, let's see. The Duke Eye Center, they're hosting Duke Eye on Education, updates in cataract and refractive surgery. This is probably more for health professionals and also for people who are interested. Maybe someone in their family has cataracts or whatever. You can get more information. It's a free event in any case. It's at the Sheraton Imperial Hotel on Emperor Boulevard, which, if I'm not mistaken, is right off of Highway 40. And that's from 6 until 8:30. So definitely register for that. It's free, but go ahead and register so that if you are if you are a health professional, you can get those credits, those education credits. 2 AMA PRA Category 1 credits. How about that? Okay. Now tomorrow, the long-term care community support group, they will be meeting online. That's going to be tomorrow from noon until 1:15. It's run by Duke. Also happening tomorrow, also online, also run by Duke, also starting at 12, is the mind-body approaches to coping with cancer. So those are great support group meetings. They're free. They're both run by Duke. Highly recommended. Definitely check them out. Okay, and now we're going to go to the last page that we will be visiting, which is the Let's Go page, calendar of events. There we are. We're going to scroll down to 18. Okay, so I just told you about Duke Eye on Education. Okay. Now, if you like disc golf, which is like Leland Best is waiting in the wings. Wow, bring you on right after the weather. Awesome. So, where was I? Yes, disc golf. They're going to be playing disc golf at Glass Jug Beer Lab on Highway 55. That should be lots of fun. It's from 6 until 10. You do pay $6 to get in, and you bring 3 putters, which sounds pretty interesting for Frisbee. I hope I didn't insult anybody. I call it Frisbee. Disc golf is the name of the sport, and it should be lots of fun in any case. And I do apologize if I insulted anyone by using the word Frisbee. The Hayti Heritage Center is the home of the Heritage Rhythms African Dance class, which is tonight. It's going to be from 6:30 until 8. You pay $10. You start out with stretches and exercises, and then you get into the African dance steps with the cardio benefits. That should be lots of fun. And it's from 6:30 until 8. The Scouts Eno River District, they're hosting their Eno Roundtable. This is for all the Scouts in the area. So this is going to be at Westminster Presbyterian Church on Old Chapel Hill Road. So again, this is for all the Scouts, all ages, and all the administrators, etc. It will start at 6:45, and it's actually not just for Durham Scouts, but they're also inviting people in Chatham County, from Granville, Orange, and Vance counties. It sounds like this is going to be a gigantic event. Okay, and there's lots of activities for the younger Scouts, the older Scouts, etc. Marvis Fun's going to have her Stay Well virtual line dance class from 7 until 8. It's free and it's online. And Scopey Mosley is here saying happy Monday. Indeed. Indeed. And thank you. The People's Alliance, they're going to host their Child and Family March community meeting at the People's Solidarity Hub. My voice is so dry. Anyway, it's on Chapel Hill Road tonight, starting at 7 o'clock. The Durham City Council, they'll be meeting tonight from 7 until 10-ish. They've gone as long as like midnight. So depending on what they'll be talking about, you can go in person, of course, City Council chambers. You can watch on Facebook, Roku, YouTube, X, Apple TV, all of that. So again, it's from 7 until 10-ish, and that is tonight in Durham City Hall. DJ R&B will be hosting Music Bingo at the Hayti Heritage Center. I'm sorry, Hayti Collective Kitchen. That's across the street from the Hayti Heritage Center. So basically, it's like 908 Fayetteville Street. They start with bingo, and they finish with karaoke. So get your singing voice together. Free admission, but it is a restaurant. So, they would really appreciate it if you would order something. Now, here's what's happening tomorrow. The Durham County Sheriff's Office's Animal Services Division On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, they have rabies vaccination clinics, and that's from 9:30 until 11 or from 2 until 3:30. So call, make that appointment, and when you get there, you pay them $10 per pet, exact change. I've got to drink some water. Okay, now East Regional Library, they host the Over 50 crowd. And I went there last week, and met some really cool older people like myself. One guy had a bullet. His uncle was in World War II, and he was stationed in Hawaii. So when Pearl Harbor happened, they were investigating and whatnot, and he took home a Japanese bullet and passed it down to his nephew, who was in his 70s. He brought it to the meeting last week. That was wild. That was totally wild. So the Over 50 Club, they meet in the East Regional Library, and you never know who's going to be there and what they'll be talking about and showing off. New Visions of Africa restaurant will be giving away food tomorrow. The grocery giveaway starts at 12:30. They're located at 1306 Fayetteville Street. And if you try to get there a little bit before 12:30, because a little paperwork has to be done. They need to know how big your family is, how many kids you have, etc. They're served by the 5 and the 5K bus. If you're driving, go around and park in WD Hill parking lot. I think that's it. Let's look at the weather, and let's bring on Barb and Leland. The weather, it doesn't feel like it's 53. It feels like it's warmer, but it says here that it's 53 degrees. It's partly sunny. It's going up to 63, and the sun will be pretty much playing peekaboo all afternoon, mostly cloudy though. And then tomorrow it's going up to 56. They say a real cold front is going to hit us. I can't complain. I can't. So it's going to be like 31 tonight. I think we can survive that. And then tomorrow it's going up to 56, and it will be sunny. And let's just see for the rest of the week, just real quick. So tomorrow, 56, Wednesday, 67, Thursday, 61, Friday, 57, Saturday, 62, Sunday, 56. Great. Let's bring on our guests, shall we? They've been waiting long enough. Let's bring them on. Hello, the two of you.
Surprise, surprise.
I thought you were muted. Are you muted? You were. Hey, Leland, you are muted.
He's muted after all this time?
But it doesn't show that it's muted. It must be his mic, because it doesn't show.
It's on his end. He's always playing with all the tech stuff.
He pushes the limits. Might have clicked on the wrong button there.
Maybe that.
There you go.
A little better. Sorry for that, everyone. No, it was kind of the irony of it is I said I was going to the broadcast, and Barbara sent me a link, and I didn't realize I was jumping right into the studio. So here I am to say hi. It's nice.
I'm very happy to see both of you. So what's new?
For me, would you like me to go first or Barb? I know Barb's here as the regular.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you guys don't know me, my name's Laylan Best. I'm over at Best Live TV, which is now kind of Best Studios LLC. I'm an event producer, an author. I wrote a Best Live guide to teach people how to do what we're doing right here today. I've known these two for almost a decade now, isn't it?
Yeah.
The lab days, of course.
Yeah, the live streaming thing is where we all met.
That is a mind blower, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm actually running two podcasts right now. One is my own that we do Sunday nights at 7 p.m. called Best AI Podcast, where I've gotten together with the likes of Lee Love, Chris Troca, Ross McCamey, Brad Slows, and another gentleman by the name of Greg Bernhardt from Shopify. So we've all kind of pulled our efforts together to help people understand what's going on in this crazy cycle of AI growth that we're in right now, because it's so confusing for a lot of people to try and figure it out. So we're on the end of the AI image generation, conversational AI, anything video related, obviously, because that's what our fortes are. So we're developing strategies and programs to try and help people get together in workshops just so that we can sit down and figure all this stuff out together.
I think I need to connect with you so that I can learn.
Come on by. You're more than welcome anytime.
So Sunday is that 7 East?
7
Wait,
p.m. Eastern every Sunday night. Yep, we record that night, and we do try to go live whenever possible. We didn't go live last week because we had a loss in the family this past week. So
ooh,
for
I'm
us,
sorry.
we recorded the show again last night, and we'll be putting that out to air as a basically we do an encore premiere on YouTube at Best AI Podcast, so you can find us
That's
at that brand pretty much everywhere. Yeah, or
nice.
Best AI Podcast.tv is actually the place to go check it out.
Okay.
And Barb, I know you remember Mikey Sausage, correct? You may have from Blab. We did some productions for him and John Peasy of America's Got Talent a while back, but recently you may have all seen Donald Trump and his new shoe wear come out recently, the gold tennis shoes.
No, I haven't.
Nobody saw any of that?
Yeah.
So he announced a new brand. Well, the people we have hosting our show, it's a sneaker and streetwear brand that they promote on a site called whatnot.com. Now, if you haven't seen Whatnot, it's like eBay with live auction. Oh, wow. So it's a live streaming website that allows people to go out and sell stuff as though they're just sitting there auctioning everything off. And people do this for days at a time. The sneaker industry is huge out there. So I'm producing a show called Word on the Street. It is a not safe for work type of production, but it's very, very home-based, street-oriented because of the people who have joined Whatnot to stream and sell are kids and people who have had tough lives, a hard time getting where they are now. They found a niche that they could really expand on. And now we've got these kids in their 20s making millions of dollars out on Whatnot selling tennis shoes. So
cool.
Cool stuff.
Cool. And getting back to AI, though, I was listening to NPR on the way. I was going downtown to play some Irish music for the Irish breakfast at the Senior Center. And they're going to reboot Gemini. Google's going to reboot Gemini because they've been having some problems. Because the programming is such that they wanted to introduce more diversity. Because very often when people show a bunch of kindergartners, they're all going to be white. And so they have like some secret coding in there to encourage diversity, which has led to unfortunate circumstances. So when people look for Nazi soldiers and they're black.
Yeah, we talked about that on our podcast.
And then they'll show somebody asked for some Australian townspeople, and they're like Asian and Latino, and they're like, wait, no. Although I see a lot of Asians from Australia, but that was the
absolutely.
That was the sample. Yeah. But so they need to tweak it a little bit more so that it's not diverse at inopportune times.
Totally agree. So, and there's a lot going on. There's so many different avenues to create content in generative AI right now that you have to be careful because there's open source developments, there's large brand developments by the huge social companies as well. And some of them are geared in certain ways and some aren't. Some are non-biased, others are. You just have to be really careful of where you're getting your content from right now.
Yeah. That's true. I'm a real beginner. So, and Barb, you're really into AI. You really know what you're doing.
Well, I'm doing okay.
Are you still writing a book a day, Barbara?
Yeah.
Well, I still need to learn.
But I haven't published
I'm just now starting.
Have not published one. And my husband was supposed to be starting to help me and starting in January, and here we are in March. And I'm like, is this going to happen or not? Because I have that special designer software to do the publishing part. And, and I've paid a lot for it over time. And I said, eventually I'm going to be checking out. And I'm not going to have this. And it gets closer to that end all the time.
You don't want somebody else to publish all your works, right?
Well, I mean, knowing my family situation is they'll just throw it away on a piece of hardware somewhere, and so I'm like, this is getting ridiculous.
Will it to me, I'll do it in your honor.
Maybe that's what I should do. Because it's crazy. It is crazy, but and I'm really concerned about the community going away from Facebook because of
Someone
the
is saying
April
hello.
22nd. That is
That's
Angel.
Angel, I
Hill.
think. Yeah.
And if
Hi,
you look
Angel.
at the next one, it's actually locked to Facebook in
Oh,
Angel. Yeah, so if you don't need to put those up for the rest of your audience. But Angel's in our BTS live group, and she stopped by.
Yep.
So,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
But I mean, we're not
Okay.
getting notifications worth a
So
darn
who-
on Facebook.
I know it's the same all across the board, Barbara. I've almost given up on presenting any type of event presentation or notification on Facebook. I push everything out to my website and YouTube now.
Gee.
It doesn't get
Well,
anywhere.
I looked at it, and of course, I'm pretty deep in there.
Yeah.
And but it's also an age thing, and what's
Is
going
it?
on. And I mean, I'm older than you two, but I
Really?
noticed. Oh yeah. we don't have to go to that numbers thing. I'm bad. But I noticed at a certain age that notifications started dwindling much faster, and I had to be really tricky to be able to keep up. It's like, remember those lists that we all generated? Well, the hard URL for those lists still works. And I had saved those on the website so I could go over there and click on them, but I mean, look at all the effort that has to go in, and then if people aren't there. And I think that I got in early on. I was asked, I was given, I don't even have 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And I've had it up since, I think, 2009. But I had it there as part of the beta testing thing that they had me doing.
Yeah. And
when they did put the community tab together, they emailed me and, hey, we want you to test this out, right? So I had it there probably for 2 years before any advertising at all went on.
Wow.
And then this year they said,
Wow.
we are going to give prominence to the community tab. We want to build that out, and all of the attention they're giving to it. And it just started in January. They started rolling stuff out. You'll find lots of YouTube videos on it. But they don't have all the features that we have on. I mean, the reason I was drawn and stayed on Facebook is because the features from the old BBS days that we kept saying, add this, add that, was already there. And of course, when we all got together, we discovered the magic, which we'd all talked about. It's like, if we could just connect on screen, if we could just connect by voice, not having to go through the telephone system and that. So we had all of that connected on Facebook. And I will say, if there is something that Facebook is number one at, and now Meta is number one at, is just screwing up something good. Just very simply. If it's good, it's time to screw it up.
Yeah, I actually, I'm kind of close. If you guys recall, the team that runs the live production end of Facebook came from 𝗕𝗧𝗬, which was a product I was promoting back 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever it was. They were acqui-hired by Facebook to run all of the live production end of things. So I still talk with Randall Bennett and Hassan Salahuddin on occasion to get a feel for what's going on the back end. And I just talked to Hassan probably a week or so ago about when they were going to actually incorporate sales in their live video. And he says it's in progress. He can't talk much about it, but it's obviously always been on the table. Yeah, it's like, what's going to happen next? I wish they would have implemented the Facebook producer they had authorized and showed evidence of prior to 𝗕𝗧𝗬's jump.
Yeah.
That was a really cool setup. And somehow I think whatever happened there, whatever fell apart there, was a big mistake. If they would have gone ahead with that production process.
They've had so much turnover, Leland.
So
I'm surprised that, I had people on the live staff, and everybody's been replaced, changed over. Same thing going on Amazon, just tons and tons of turnover in the field. So I'm surprised that you have someone who's still there, from back then. Because most of them.
I wonder if you're having different goals.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
If you're having different goals. Wasn't there a time when Facebook was excited about our live streaming?
Oh yeah,
For
It's
a
like
little
it's
bit.
like you're not
they were giving preference to live feeds.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And just recently they did the same thing
Yeah.
again over the
So what
last summer
happened?
because we don't know. I think they don't see the metrics they want to see right away, so they give up. It's like they don't give it enough time to actually see the growth that they would see if they would just let it do its thing and evolve a little bit, but they don't. They always cut it too short and try something else. That's what seems to be the case.
Are
with
they
me.
all too young?
Well, look at
Are
it
all
this
these
way.
people too young? Or
No, I think a lot, even Randall has a big background in television production because they were developing Twitter walls for TV long before, working with Facebook. So this was nothing new to them. It's been a production end of things for years for them in
okay.
high-end video production. But I think it was really the implementation, like the way they have it built now inside Facebook is so flipping confusing.
Mhm.
It's so hard to connect easily. Now you're coming through StreamYard. That's a breeze. You just click a couple buttons, you're on to Facebook Live. But the idea and principle behind the rest of it is just way too complex. It doesn't need to be as deep as it is. And I
That's
think
too bad.
they need to fix that. So. But we're having fun. We still
I
play
don't think
it.
they have a vision of what they really want.
Well,
I
we're
get
up
the
in our
sense they don't
game.
really know what they want.
Yeah, I agree.
So
That's why
I'm just going
we're
to use
going
it
to YouTube.
until I can't.
Well, look at Nez. I mean, Barb, you're watching Nez's production value now and where he's headed on YouTube. It's insane how his growth has snowballed over the last couple of weeks. I watched 2.5 weeks ago where he commented he had 50,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, and then it was 60, then it was 75, then it was 90, then it was 100. Now it's 150 something.
What's he
Over the last,
doing?
It's over 155 yesterday.
yeah,
So
he's
it'll
reporting
probably
current
be-
events. That's it.
Well, he
Wow.
He has a flair. He's playing the rail.
no,
Don't get me wrong.
It's not just recording. No, he caught, because it is an election year, and he took the middle ground.
Mhm.
And I knew what his background was as a professor and stuff. And
Yeah.
I used to tease him like crazy. And I said, because he has not only the storytelling ability, he has the knowledge to back it.
Mhm.
So, I mean, he's got an education in that arena, and it is perfect for him. I mean, it was like,
Mhm.
and frankly, I mean, I don't want to talk politics, but I want.
No,
I mean, you
that's
guys know from Blab Days. I said, if you guys are going to talk politics, I'm out of here. I don't want anything to do with that. Because when the cancer story is, I mean, it just generates juices in your gut that
Yeah.
are deadly.
Mhm.
And I don't mean whether
Yeah.
it's negative or positive. It's the issue because, and so it's unhealthy for me.
Mhm.
But the way that he
Yeah.
approaches current affairs in the political arena is absolutely it's Johnny Carson value. It's
Yeah, it is.
absolutely hilarious. He's given nicknames to all the main characters, and the way he rolls them off his tongue and his facial expressions, and I mean, he's got so much character in his face.
Yes.
But
Nez is
he's
an
a
all-around
brilliant-
likable guy.
Yeah,
He
he's a
is.
brilliant guy, but it was all about placement and timing, and the story. I mean, you couldn't get much hotter than the characters he's talking about.
Exactly.
So,
It's with her, but her hands are tied.
I wrote his name down before. What's he gonna
yeah,
do?
that's
Professor
Angel.
Nez.
Oh, I think
Nez
it's Mr.
Nation.
Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nez Nation is the channel I think he's got going, isn't it?
yeah.
On YouTube. Yeah. Good guy.
Is that what it's called?
No,
ex-blabber. Or
Professor
Nez.
Nez is the official YouTube channel.
That's correct. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
But he's done it right, and
Okay.
it's been fun to follow. Now he's been hitting it every single day,
Yeah, I know.
and he took off on the
Wow.
weekend one day, and you could see the dip, and he came in. I think he probably saw it and went in. He went live, but
Yeah.
because he's got the momentum rolling, and I think he's right.
I hope he doesn't get too caught up and then get all burned out.
That's
Well,
what I always
Because
worry.
a lot of people are chasing those algorithms.
Yeah. And I do
Exactly.
see
Because
that.
there was a big quitting last month. A lot of YouTubers quit for some reason. I think they were just getting burnt out. And whenever they apologize for not doing a show, I'm like, you're not my employee.
Yeah, exactly.
Come and go as you
Well, it's like, how do
please.
you feel if you
But-
have to give it? Because
but-
you're doing a daily every morning at 10, right, Patricia?
Monday through
Right.
Friday,
Monday through Friday.
Noon my time.
noon.
Yeah,
And what's
and
that
then
like for
Saturdays
you?
at 10.
What's that like for you to come out every day for an hour? It sounds like you're out here every morning. We used to do that on Blab
Well,
Nation as well. After a while, it gets to be a little stressful. It's
yeah.
not like you got to come up with content every day. You've got to make sure your audience is pleased in one way or another. That's why I got off of the live streaming every day and went into event production for a while. I've done a lot of really big events for people like the Public Health Institute, a lot of C Corporation stuff for neurological centers and things. I was actually capable. I was able to introduce Susan Williams for a neurological event that we did where we put out the first premiere of Robin's Wish. If you haven't seen that movie yet, it's a wonderful backstory of what happened to Robin Williams and the Lewy body dementia that he actually fought the last couple of years of his life. So I got to sit backstage with Susan and talk with her for a little while during the event, which was a really cool experience for me to just hear from her the heartfelt, situation that she had to go through with that. So it's pretty interesting. But it's that kind of thing.
What I'm doing is, I don't chase the algorithms. My audience is so tiny. I really haven't caught on at all. But I still do this because I enjoy it. And basically, if I don't have any guests, my show is over before like 20 minutes is up or 15 minutes is up. I announce what's happening today in Durham. And I've got the world's tiniest audience. And I feel sad about that, but I can't see myself fixing it any kind of way.
No.
But, I just get a few views.
No, I'll tell you what. I've been myself and some of the people we work with. We've been following the likes of Owen Video. Everybody knows Owen. He was nice enough to give me a year's worth of his 𝗕𝗓𝗟𝗓 academy that he does for YouTube producers. And another friend of mine, Lee Love, who's on our Best AI podcast, went to 𝗕𝗓𝗟𝗓𝗧's recent promotion that he did to build up your YouTube channel. Those are two of the biggest voices out there when it comes to building a big figure channel.
Yeah.
And it's just consistency. You know that, Patricia. It's all about we can't control who's going to watch us. It's just keep doing what you do. People will find you. Don't worry about it.
But
we know you're there.
I felt really good. I appreciate it. But I felt really good in that on Saturday, I work part-time for Senior Pharmacist, a local nonprofit. Nice. So I was representing Senior Pharmacist at this health fair at Durham Tech Community College this Saturday. And a few people were like, I know you. Wait, you're Durham Skywriter. So I guess people are watching. So I'm happy about that. I was very pleased to be recognized. But I still don't have like big numbers. Not that I'm aiming for big numbers. I'm just realizing that I don't have a huge viewership. But to me, if you're watching me and you're getting the information you need, that's good enough. That's good enough. Because I'm going to keep doing this until I can't do it.
That's the best thing about it is we have the grassroots ability to just make these whenever we want. That's what I love about it. So Barbara, have you ever been like noticed in public for being someone on a live stream? I just had that experience myself recently for the first time, which was
cool.
It makes you feel like you're somebody for a moment. It's like I walked in to pay my Spectrum bill for my internet, and I said, "Yeah, I need to pay the bill for the place down the street." And the woman next to her said, "Did you say word on the street?" And I said, "No, but why do you ask? That's one of the podcasts I produce." She goes, "Well, you guys produce it here in Owasso?" And I said, "Well, no, Corona down the road." She's like, "My son watches your show every time you come out." I'm like, are you kidding me right now? We broadcast out of New York. We broadcast out of New York City and Miami, Florida. Those are the two hosts on the show. And I'm here in Michigan, just north of Detroit. So to walk into a communications building somewhere here in Michigan and have somebody recognize the show that I'm not even on physically was like, oh my God, we have a following. We really have people all over the place. So you never know. You never know.
Cool. That's cool. That's very cool.
Well, I don't want to take up
So,
the
Barb,
show
you've been doing
here.
this for so long. I'm sure you've been recognized. Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Oh, is that okay? Well, as far
There's
as
a delay.
recognition, I am definitely. Who cares? It's whether you're addressing your audience. I think that it goes back to that. For me, as you all knew that back then, I kept saying, well, from way back in the 90s, I was trying to keep the international ballooning community together. So that's all of those people know
Amazing.
who I am, what I do, and everything. And those are my
Mhm.
people. But going out into, well, actually, I was asked to, this year, after all this time, I was asked to speak at 2 different conferences, which blew my mind. And I thought, if you've been following me, you got to know that so what I'm doing. And but I can't, with my health and everything, I can't be traveling all around and committing to time frames. So
Yeah.
not going to do that. And then, of course, I have had that Unimi community that,
Oh yeah.
started from 2018. And
Mhm.
I am one of the few that have, completed over 700 courses at this point. Not just enrolled in, but completed them.
That's an educated person right there.
But
Yeah.
I think I've got about 1,100 that I've actually taken. But the thing is that what I'm watching happen right now is that the person that I inspired to do that, and he gave me full license to do it, is really tearing it down, tearing the community down. And it's just breaking my heart, because
That's too bad.
you put all that energy. It's not about
Wow.
me. It's about the people, and reaching people internationally and helping them to make a positive difference. And because it makes a positive difference in
Yeah.
your life when you do help them and they say you helped them, So
Yeah, exactly.
that's what's,
That was kind of the beauty of
Yeah.
Amy Carrier's classroom. I mean, we reached, in the end, by the time it was done, which Amy Carrier's health also contributed to the collapse of that program, because she just couldn't bear the weight of everything that had to be done anymore. And we had reached out to over 160 countries by the time we were done with just teaching people that were unable
Whoa.
to know how to use the internet, didn't know anything about business, didn't know, they were fresh out of rural communities overseas in the Middle East, in Pakistan, that, Barbara, all the people
Wow.
and I still deal with Rayhan. I still talk. Rayhan just got a hold of me the other day because he wants me to help teach AI at his university. So, there's been a very long-standing outreach program by the people here in the live streaming community to try and just connect people across the globe and get the understanding that there's a lot of crap going on in the world, yes, but it's not the people. It's everything above us that's doing this, charade of manipulation and keeping things in their control. We just need to remember that as people, this is how we need to connect. We need to stay in touch, and we need to be humans with each other and stay in humanities. If we don't, we're all going to fail. So.
But here's the thing, Leland, is that
Exactly.
I mean, 10 years ago when we all got together, we could see where we were headed. All of us could see that, what a difference it made overnight to be able to make those connections and to stay connected. And during that 10 years, we've lost a lot of characters that literally have passed away in our all different ages, that have passed away in our live streaming community. You just, every moment that we have is priceless, and doing the best you can with each moment you've got is absolutely essential. And I look at, we need tools to achieve that. And if we strive to get those technology tools, we make them work. It costs us. So when you say, well, you're not pay, I'm sorry to be hounding on Facebook, but and that whole story, but the truth is, they say, oh, well, you just free access, sign up, but it's not free when you read the terms of service. You know how we've all bitched about that over the years. But when we read them, we've given them license to service advertisements, to use aggregate information about ourselves for them to provide other services and so forth.
Yeah.
So it gets back to the technology again. At the core of what they're doing is providing technology. And
Yeah,
they
exactly.
are failing. They are failing at
They are.
that. And it's really sad because I think that, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to feel picked on. You know, I'm not a crybaby, but
No.
doggone it, I've been through the whole game, and I was always older because when I got in, the folks that were making all the giant waves were at least 10 years younger than I was.
Mhm.
And the whole thing now is being of a certain age and just seeing what has, I mean, because my husband is in the next generation at the tail end of it, and seeing what Facebook does, and you know they're using those numbers. You know it.
Oh yeah.
When they say, oh, when we were born, blah blah blah, and you give a certain minimum amount of information, and the kind, you know, of feeding them the notifications, just like I don't believe he has 100 friends on Facebook, but the friends he has that are alive, he wants to stay in touch with.
Yeah.
So why pick on somebody like that? You've got their aggregate information. So I think there's extreme prejudice going on from an age standpoint. In addition, you know, all this diversity and everything that they talk about, it's talk. I mean, they make it, they put it on tests. If you have any of their products and you want certification in them, they want that inclusivity and diversity in there. But it's like, yeah, I want to connect with those people. They even want to come on live. They want to learn English as a second language. I had friends in ballooning that actually are in Pakistan. And I had another friend from the Udemy community, that a young man who was in the middle of it all and, you know, escaped and went to Canada. And he was, when I very first met him, English was very minimal back in 2018, but he's adapted the English as his second language and is phenomenal at this point.
Yeah.
Is such a challenge. And if we can't talk to them, I mean, they just like we are now, and they feel comfortable that the world is not a better place to be because we're not moving forward.
No.
And
I totally agree. I'd like to see more communications because I understand the prejudice that's been developed over the years of just generational gaps that have taken place. You know, each generation teaches us something that we probably shouldn't learn over time. And yet I was raised in honestly a very racist type environment when I was young. And I had to get out of that environment. It was the kind of thing that I grew into and didn't understand why it was what it was. And my own beliefs of what was going on in the Middle East and what, you know, the people were like in the Middle East was a hell of a lot different than it is now, because of the fact that Rayhan said to one person, I want you to meet the greatest live streamer in the US. And I ended up going on shows in Pakistan, live broadcasts, where I was talking to people.
Too, Angel.
All right, Angel, we'll see you around.
You remember Angel, don't you?
Oh yeah, I know Angel.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's a Canadian.
Hanging with the girls.
She's one of our Canadians.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's really all a matter of perception, Barb and Patricia. We all know that. What we're told about people is one thing because it's what people want us to believe about others. And when you actually get the opportunity to thank you, April, get the opportunity to sit down and discuss with others from other countries what their beliefs are, how they're living, who they communicate with, you see a whole different story. It's just so much different. Like if you want to really know what the gentleman I work around is like, go look at Rayhan.com, REHAN.com, and see what Rayhan's all about. He came up with a program to try and help every Pakistani that needed to earn an income to make $500 US a month. That was his plan. Now what he has is a huge incubator of students that he has bought a laptop and a cell phone for, and is now teaching them IT, teaching them how to use ChatGPT, teaching them how to up their game instead of just teaching them coding like a lot of people used to do a few years ago. Now the CEO of NVIDIA says, don't teach your kids about coding. We're all programmers now. If we just know how to use ChatGPT, we become programmers.
Right.
So we have to really watch where we're headed in the next 10 years. This stuff is expanding exponentially, and it's going to continue to grow exponentially. And if we're not ready for that, we're going to miss the boat. So we're trying to make it as casual as possible of an experience to learn the growth factor that we're dealing with, one piece at a time, one chunk at a time, because it's coming at us like a fire hose in social media and on the news. And it's hard to keep up. A lot of people are just kind of ignoring it right now because it's like, oh, there's so much AI, I can't even fathom what's going on. And we understand that. So I think everybody just needs to touch base and say, hey, what can we do together to figure out ways to generate our own images, to create our own videos, to help create content that we used to spend hours and hours developing. Now we can do it in seconds time. When we know how to actually incorporate that into our daily lives change instantly with the knowing of how to use this stuff. It really is.
Absolutely.
A few years ago, there was this guy. Oh, I'm sorry, Barb. Go ahead.
Well, I was just on what Leland was saying there about the AI and where we're going is that I use AI every day in my groups and maintaining them and my connections with people. And when we got to the image side of it, I thought, oh, hallelujah, because I couldn't go to ballooning events. I couldn't get out there, and participate like I used to. And I knew that one of the most common things is that the balloon pilots, the people on the inside, the crew and the pilots, it's like they know how much work goes into producing the beautiful festivals that you see on screen and so forth in real life. But I remember specifically that those special shape balloons, people would come be at the festival and they would be drawing special shapes on back of envelopes, papers and so forth. This is what I envision having, right? And so I did that AI art attack that you've seen go across my profile this year, and I had two of the guys the very first day tell me, oh, you don't want to create balloons. They're going to be all over you for the ballooning community, right?
Yeah.
Only they can do that. And so then when I created actual images that looked, and they're AI, generated, but actually looked like something they wanted to have, then they would write me and say, can I use this to take? Absolutely. But I also knew the top special shape ballooning manufacturers in the world. And they've actually hired, programmers to help them generate an AI themselves from their websites, because they said, hey, wait a minute. This is, going to save millions, hours.
Mock-ups.
And
mock-ups alone. That is the key factor a lot of photographers and website users are building it for.
Yeah. But and there was just so much. So it was a opening and everybody embraced it except some of the folks in the greatest generation. And, people, we have multiple generations. We have like 4 generations in a group. And so, and even the later end of baby boomers, we're still hanging, well, I'm tired of seeing all that AI stuff, But do they actually contribute content? Do they add the value? Are they contributing conversation? Do they do that? No.
That's what I love.
They love to gripe.
Yeah.
So AI is great for that. So I'm like here on behind the scenes, have ChatGPT open up in a tab, and I say, I've got a member complaining that blah, blah, blah.
What do I do with this person?
Yeah, and I'll just, remember ChatGPT is conversational.
Yes.
And the only way to really embrace and have fun with it is to treat it, as a conversation. And so I just like would be talking to you, and I would say help, and then it'd come out, and it would say calm down.
I love that part of it. It
You
can
know, it's like,
actually,
so
it settles
because it
you a
is a
little.
conversation, and the fact that it's responding to me that way,
Mhm.
and then it actually has the snide remarks is, you know, I'm only a robot, right? You know, it's like don't let reality wreck your day, kind of thing.
The
But as
robots
we're
aren't what they
doing it,
used to be. That's for sure.
exactly, but it changes everything.
Yes.
And again, if you use it properly and safely,
Yeah.
it can be a great contribution.
I know you're at the end of your show here, Patricia, most likely, and we've probably talked you right past your hour, but
Well, it goes as long as it needs to. Yeah.
because
It
you're
doesn't
on this
matter.
topic,
Yeah.
could I show you something that we're in
Mhm.
development of right now that we're actually offering to people? It's not an offer in
Please.
kind. I just want you guys to see what we're up to when it comes to AI real quick. So I'm going to do a
Yes,
quick
I'm really
screen share.
curious.
Let me see if I can get
Okay.
past your screen set up
This is
here.
exciting.
I'm going to grab, this is a software. This is my software. I actually own the system. I built it and developed it with the help of others. But this, you should be able to see now the screen that I have.
Nope. She needs to add
Oh,
it.
I
There
got,
she
she
is.
has to add it. There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
So
then
this,
put it on so that he can just leave us off so we can see it, because we need to enlarge it so we can see it.
oh, if you
There
want to
we
go full screen with it, yeah,
Oh,
that should
okay.
be fine.
She can
Just
do
the
that.
screen. There you go.
Boom.
Okay, so
There
you
we
guys
go.
are familiar. I brought up the fact that I run Best AI Podcast, and in that process, over on our website,
Uh-huh.
we have a chat bot that we've developed. And let me see if I can actually grab another window real quick so I can show you. Chatbots are a big thing right now, and a lot of people don't see them for what they really are, and that's in some cases an AI enhanced feature set, or virtual assistant is what we tend to call them nowadays. So I'm just going to show you on the website real quick what we have down. Oh, it's not loaded on the website right now. I apologize. So I don't have it there. Let's go to where it comes from, though. We build two different types of chatbots right now. One of them is one that's built as a knowledge base or Q&A bot that we train with small talk and question and answers, a human rollover factor, form fill outs, conversational summaries, avoid negative topic conversations, SMS channels to be able to implement these not only in a chat widget, but have them directly converse with someone in a text message, SMS response back and forth. So we train these and we connect them through the API settings to the actual OpenAI API keys so that we can create bots that work through the ChatGPT interface to have conversations with our users. Now, in this case, what we've developed is what's called a sales bot that actually works for you as an employee, or what we call an AI employee. And in this case, we build out stages that follow a conversational goal. So like Barbara mentioned, it's all about conversation. We have to talk with these open AIs and Claudes and every other LLM out there as though it's a human. That's what it was built to do, is to talk to. So we create a conversational goal and a conversational purpose behind what the bot's to do and why it's there. And we create steps and stages that the bot goes through at an introductory level, understanding the requirements of the user, providing info, addressing any questions they have, and then closing based on whether they're interested or not interested in whatever product or service we're providing. And then it revives that conversation over time and allows us to trigger actions like adding them to automations or pipelines, or tag their name so that we know what niche they're in or what we really want to address with them in the future, or just collect data from them to build our email list and opt them out if we need to sunset them in the future. Even have an AI bot create another AI employee to do work for it so that it doesn't have to do all the work itself. So from that, what we do is basically connect these on different channels. And what this allows us to do is set up assigned work, whether it's auto rollover to another human being. We have all the information about the branding and company information, where it's located, what their description and values are. We can shut off the conversation if it gets out of hand, but these are trained to not give recipes, not talk about sports. You know, these are designed to be specifically tailored to someone's branding. Now, if we wanted to sick them on someone's list of, say, 1,000 people, we could go into hunt mode and start uploading lists into the bot that it would actually go and follow up on and ask questions to. And the way we do that is we train the bot with all the data possible, whether it's scraped data through a website URL, or whether it's a content that's generated by hand, whether it's question and answer, or whether it's just uploading data files like PDFs and documents that are relative to the brand or its mission. And then we connect it in, like I said, various ways, whether it's through a webhook, through an SMS, through phone numbers, through Twilio, or even applying to applications like Zapier and Pabbly to allow for full automations. And then we log everything that takes place. We don't ever try to tell anyone that what we're doing is a human. Okay, it's an AI virtual assistant. We don't ever tell somebody this is like me talking to you, like a lot of people try to do in some cases. But the beauty of these things.
So do you give them all of the?
Yeah, what we can do.
All of the information and leave it up to them to say it conversationally?
Yes, what basically happens is the bot, now that it knows everything about your brand, everything about your business, everything about your offers, and knows even your hours of operation, you can let it run during those hours or run 24/7. So what that means is you have a virtual assistant customer service representative who can answer any question about your business 24/7. And then if they can't answer it, it forwards it directly to you through an automation. It sends you a text or an email and says, hey, you got somebody on your website that has a question that I can't answer. Can you take over? And you do. And then from there, the nurturing that takes place is recurring. So if somebody doesn't respond, but the determination is that they're still kind of interested, because the bot's able to do that just by statistical analysis alone. And then it responds again in a few days and says, hey, I know you weren't interested before, but maybe now I've got this other thing that I wanted to tell you a little bit about this. Before you know it, the people are literally paying for and filling out forms, and you wake up the next morning and you've got, 5 more people on your list, or somebody purchased your package because you weren't even there. And yet these bots are smart enough, and the conversations flow like a real conversation. People have actually come into some of these and said, yeah, well, I was talking with you the other day about that. No, actually, you were talking with my bot. They don't believe that it's actually not a human being sometimes. So it is hard to tell. Yeah. But we have several different variations of bots that are running in the wild right now. And some are just answering questions. Others are doing work, literally back and forth and keeping things moving. So it's interesting, to say the least.
That's great.
Yeah, I've got to learn about that. That's something I know nothing about.
Yeah, the chatbots have come along.
I mean, I've seen where they ask if you want.
Oh yeah, it's not the days of ManyChat anymore. ManyChat used to be a process where you had to script all of the prompts. And I still actually own an old prompt builder like that, where you have if you've ever seen one of my posts on Facebook about spaghetti building, it's called that because you have all these cards everywhere telling people what you can say and can't say, and then what to do if they do say this. And there's trails everywhere down these pathways that have to be generated ahead of time. Now we don't do that anymore. We just ask the bot, can you talk to this person and figure out what he wants? And that's really what the bot does. It sits there and converses back and forth. So, yeah, you just have to give it a goal. It's really the benefit of these bots.
The only scary thing, every now and then I hear that they might make up something if they don't know the correct answer.
It's called hallucinating. And the reason they do that is if they're not trained to be corralled and put fences around them a little bit, like I mentioned earlier about recipes and things like that. If you go to a business person's bot and it gives you a recipe, it hasn't been trained properly. It hasn't been screened out to filter those kind of conversations out of its limits of operation, let's say. And what we do with these bots is we train them specifically. You have to kind of, whenever you're building a bot, you give it a persona. And the way you train a persona, I've got other builders too, just for prompting. I don't know if you guys, when you develop your prompts, let me put it this way. And I know, Barbara, you're very well versed, I'm sure, on prompting, but it's not just the way you talk to it, but it's how much information you give it. If you just lightly say, draw me a picture of a cat, it'll draw a picture of a cat. If you tell it to give me a letterhead
Mhm.
for my business, it'll print out a letterhead with form factors so that you have all the variables in place where you need them for your names, addresses, sign-offs, whatever. But if you really
Mhm.
want it to develop something intense, just really drill down and tell it exactly what it is you want to see, whether it's in text form, a table that you build on ChatGPT, an image of a cat sitting in a chair with gray hair and a green hat and a red dress and a black piano. All that stuff matters. But you can also add in the
Mhm.
angle of the shot, the frame that you wanted in, the type of lens you used,
Oh.
whether you want it. Oh, you can do all of that when you really think about it. Just like if you were to tell someone, I
Wow.
want you to do something, explain to the bot exactly how you would a person to walk them through that process. And then the bot goes, oh, I get it. I can do that for you. And it shows you how it can do that for you. And if it messes up, the first thing you do is say, nope, you were wrong. You didn't do that right. I need you to try again. And what that allows the bot to do is learn. And now it's already figured out on its own. That's not what he wanted. I need to give him what he wants. And now I need to reevaluate the process given this new information. So it's an ongoing process forever.
Yeah, when I tried to get it to create a now, mind you, I've only done this 2 or 3 times because I'm really a true beginner, and I was going back and forth with it, and I was saying thank you and please and all that, and I was trying to get it to create the local ballpark with the Durham Bulls logo on top, and it kept showing the Chicago Bulls logo. And I never could get it to create the Durham Bulls logo, so I had to use what did I use? Canva or something, Photoshop or something to put the Durham Bulls logo over the Chicago Bulls logo. It never did.
Oh, so you meshed 2
Learn.
different.
I'm not sure how it.
Yes, we do that a lot though. Well, that's called image prompting.
Yeah.
What that allows, the LLM is actually capable of reading an image. Recent tests have shown that it can actually take a black and white silent film and tell you what the storyline was, just based on the motions and actions of the characters on the film.
Wow.
That's how smart an LLM can be. So it doesn't hear a single word in the entire movie, but it will tell you the whole plot of the movie because it watched every actor act out its part,
but
and it was able to determine what it did. There's just a slight
tell
delay.
Me this.
Go ahead.
Since I could. Oh, I understand. I'm sorry, because it's been, I guess our internet is kind of goofy today. But so if ChatGPT can't, it just could not provide the Durham Bulls logo. Is there a way for me to provide the Durham Bulls logo so they would know this is what I want in the future?
Yeah, well, you could prompt more imagery. Yeah, you can just show it that image as an image prompt in an image generator. Like, for instance, DALL-E 3, or one we've been using recently, which can actually be installed locally on your computer, is called, we're not sure, it's either Focus or Focus, because it's got FOOOCUS is the name of the product. Has to run on an RTX card. Now, most image generators have to have what's known as an RTX video card by NVIDIA, which is a series of cards that they generate that allows for ray tracing and all kinds of other really cool visual effects in video. And it's that GPU process that's used to create images with AI. That's why NVIDIA is blowing up in stock right now, because everybody's buying their GPUs like crazy because they want to build their own internal AI structures. In that, you can take Focus, put it on your computer. If you have like a gaming machine, it's perfect, and run that software at home and actually generate your own images. You can upload images to it and have it create images from images. So it has a reference point to work from. And that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
One to look into, though, is Stability AI. 3.0 just came out recently, and they now have the ability to generate font text inside the images. It's always been a detriment to AI image generation, is its ability to produce proper text in the right format with a proper style or even font of any kind. Now they've gotten to that point where if you tell it to label something in a logo or a brand of any kind, it will actually generate the text properly. And you may be able to give it the font style, height, size, and all that stuff in the process as well. Yeah.
Really?
Wait till you see some. Has anyone watched Sonos, which is the new video producer by Google? Wait till you see that. That's coming out the end of the year, close to the end of the year. You'll be able to generate any video you want at any time. And I mean any video at all. That means drone footage off the ocean. You don't.
Yes.
Look up Sonos, SONAS. That's all I got to tell you. You'll enjoy it. That one should be out by the end of the year. It's not public access.
There's so much to learn.
It will be. Yeah, so come on by. Learn
There's
with
so
us.
much to learn, though. I mean, I'm such a beginner. I will have to check you out because
we're having fun.
I mean, I'm just now starting. I mean, and Barb was the one who really got me started. After I saw what she was doing with image creation with ChatGPT. What was that, version 3? What is it, Barb? ChatGPT.
I have the 4.0.
4.0. Yeah.
Yeah, with it because I have the subscription.
Four,
Yeah,
not 3, 4.
Yep,
And
that's
actually,
paid
it's
version.
more than
Right.
0.0 at this point, but
5 will be coming out soon.
yeah.
Okay, so I have 4.
But I also have.
And
Are you familiar with Paul 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗧?
The guy who developed tablet? I think that's who you're talking about. Indian?
No.
Paul 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗧. The name sounds really familiar. Is he a marketer or is he?
He's been developing different software things since, gosh, probably 2003, 4.
How's he spell his last name?
I'll get it for you.
Polina? Paul Polina or Polona?
Paloma.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But I'm pretty sure the Artistly AI is built on stability, if I'm not mistaken.
It's possible. Stability is underneath of a lot of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Stable Diffusion's under a lot of the open source builds that are out there as well. And DID is one that a lot of people are using for the lip syncing video productions for avatars. I don't see the big. It's to me that's a fad. I don't get turned on by like avatars of fake people talking. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, they
to
have
me.
them in your own image now too on video.
That's different. Yeah, that's different. If I could make my own image like that,
I don't like that either because, I mean, we're dealing.
Anybody can copy you now.
That's for identity theft. That'd be a bad thing, Leland.
Oh yeah, it's already there. I've got an app that's open source called Face Fusion that I can take any video and put my face on anybody else and make a deep fake that quickly. It's free. It's open source. I can do it anytime.
Go ahead, Patricia.
There was a live streaming app. I can't remember what it was called, but the 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗄 was the name of the guy who was the head guy, Alex Reason. I think it was 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗄.
Yeah, that was Get Vocal.
But anyway,
they went to Vocal after that.
𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗄. Okay, he shut it down. He shut it down, and he's starting a new business. And I think it's him. But anyway, so a celebrity will use his service. They will create an AI version of the celebrity, and then the fans can talk to the AI version of the celebrity because the celebrity is busy. They don't have time.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
the AI version will interact with the fans, and I guess the fans, you pay a fee or something. It's kind of like that sounds really fake to me because you're not talking with the real person.
I think it would lead to a lot of problems.
Yeah, it will.
That particular one.
There's no doubt. Any cloning of anything is going to lead to problems. Whether it's a face, whether it's a voice, whether it's somebody's imagery or brand, it's obviously going to be an issue. We've seen that already in a lot of spaces, but they're going to really crack down on that pretty soon. Because when you're seeing Elon Musk and guys like Bezos in videos where their mouths are moving and saying stuff with their own cloned voice, that they're seeing these now. They're finally seeing what's coming out of the woodwork. And they're going, oh, no, we can't let that happen. So they are starting to lock back down on those things. But I think it'll be impossible to corral it all. We just got to be very due diligent in what we really spend money on, where we apply our attentions, because we will be trying to people will be trying to fake us out every day now.
Well, I think that makes the
for
live
sure.
streaming even more important.
Yeah, we're trying. That's why we want
It's
to let
true.
people know what's available
Because
and
it's
what
been-
people can do with it. There's a lot of bad actors out there. But yeah, join us anytime. I'd love to have you guys
hope
by,
the
and we'd
kids
love to
are
get you
running-
on the show too.
Well,
I
I'm
will
gonna take off,
definitely
you
be there
guys, so-
Sundays at 7.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, Barb. Thank you so much for stopping
7
by and for
Eastern time?
having Leland to
That's-
come
Yes.
on.
Yep, 7 p.m. And we have the benefit of we have a cast of 6 that aren't necessarily always there, but we do have guys like Lee Love of Photo Mentor TV. Chris Stroka is an award-winning wedding DJ from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ross McCamey is our marketing maverick, we call him. He's our beast automation specialist. And then we also have Greg Bernhardt from Shopify. He's their SEO specialist over at Shopify. And Brad Slows, who is the podcast producer at Awaken Nation. He's another one of our cast members. He's a big creative director and artist and creative artist, you might say. So he's just now tapping into AI and learning how to write his new book that he's doing and learning how to clone his voice to do voiceover work and things like that. And we're just kind of focusing on our each individual niche and how we apply it and how we use it, and hopefully get everybody else to figure out it's just a tool that'll help them too.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're all welcome.
I'm starting to think of a lot of different ways I could use AI if I only knew how.
Yeah, come on
So
by.
I will definitely catch up with you, Leland, because I think there's a lot I can learn from you. Because Barb is definitely teaching me a lot.
Yeah, Barb's a wealth of knowledge over there. That's for sure.
You're welcome.
Oh, for sure.
All right,
Okay,
Patricia.
One of the
Barbie.
Yes,
OGs.
there you go.
Yeah.
So when's the next? I saw there was a little reunion, I think, that Cliff put on recently for Blab. I missed that one. Is there another
I
one
wasn't
scheduled sometime?
invited.
missed
If I
it.
had been, I would have told you.
They just throw it out there. Yeah, I may have to throw something together here soon. I was the first one to actually do a reunion for Blab after the first 5 years. I think maybe we're about due for a 10-year here soon. So maybe when
And I was there.
next year.
Yes.
That would be next year for me. Would be 10 years from when I first signed on to Blab. November 2015 was the first time I logged in. Met ColecoVision, which is Raven, the talk show Maven's husband. It was my first event. Was sitting in there.
Oh, okay.
While him, I, and Chocolate Brown tried to figure out how to syndicate a stream from Blab out onto YouTube, and we did it that night after about 5 hours of playtime. So it was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me, Patricia.
I'd love to go to.
Thank you.
Yeah, set up another reunion. I would love to. I feel
Let's
bad
do it.
missing Cliff's, though. I don't see how I missed it.
Yeah, it was just like last month or
But
so ago. I
anyway.
missed it too. So, but we'll do it. We'll do it soon. I've got a replay I'll shoot to you guys from the last event that we did. Get Vocal and Giselle were kind enough to throw together a short highlight reel from that event with all the people coming and going and talking about how they loved Blab so much. So I'll be sure to get that to you guys so you can see it.
Great.
Get Vocal. That's the one
That
that
was so-
Rising
Have you guys-
Comp. That
Did
was
he
Get
close
Vocal.
that? He closed that too, though. He went from Get Vocal
Yeah,
to
it's-
Vocal.
it's
He made
gone.
another site. He got rid of Vocal too.
And that's the celebrity. I think that's him. It's not
Let me check.
Alex Rising Comp. It's a different Rising Comp, but it's either him
oh.
or someone that's related to him.
Because I
But the
know when they
person's last
created.
name is Rising Comp.
Okay, so Get Vocal is still on vocal.com. Nope, it's in hibernation. He shut it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because I knew Get Vocal closed, but then Vocal was the new rendition of it. They just changed the branding a little bit, and that's already down. So I guess everybody gave up on that process.
No, that's the thing that. No, I think that's the program with the AI celebrities.
Oh, okay. Maybe he
That's
changed
what I was
it then.
talking about. Yeah, I don't think it's a newer. Yeah, he
Wow.
totally is changing the game plan.
Yeah, send me a link if you got something. I'd like
So
to
much
see what
so
he's
that
doing.
it's no longer Alex Rising Comp.
Okay, maybe it's
I'm
the
very
other
curious
rising
about
cup.
that.
Anybody seen Alex Krugloff lately?
I don't know.
You remember where he's from?
No.
Smile TV? Or
I
do you
don't
remember
remember.
Smile Time? Smile
Oh my
Time.
God.
he was the content creator from 𝗕𝗧𝗬, or not 𝗕𝗧𝗬. What's the streaming site? Hulu. He was
right?
Nope, wrong one. 𝗕𝗧𝗬's the one that got picked
Hulu.
up by Product Hunt. They use that now for the back end of their live streams. But that was one that came out after Fire Talk.
Okay.
The days. Oh, the days. Let's stop before we keep going.
Fire Talk is good.
I love that site. I wished it would
The
have.
Fire Talk. The best thing about Fire Talk is that everybody had their own channel, and I like that.
Pal Talk still exists,
that was hip.
Which is the owner of Fire Talk. And they have incorporated video on that platform, but that's a whole nother process. That's like you get to stand up to the mic when it's your turn and you talk about a topic of discussion. And when you get your 5 minutes, then you step down and the next person gets to stand up on the mic for 5 minutes. So they've included video in that process now too. Pretty cool concept. And it's been going on almost 15 or 20 years now. It's not a new site. That site was around long before Blab and was running on audio only. Now it's got both.
Yeah. So, wow.
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
We could talk about this for days.
That's what happens when us old timers get back together again. Oh, and speaking of old timers, Barbara, and I'm not saying that in the wrong frame, Best AI Podcast, we managed to develop it in such a way that we have 2 boomers, we had 2 Gen X, and we had 2 millennials, but it's kind of broken up a little bit since then. Sweet. We're trying to keep it at that level where we get all the generations involved in the conversation. So Gen Y and Gen Z are more than welcome to come along as well. We just haven't seen any participate yet. So we'll see. But we're coming at it from all directions. All right.
Catch you later, Patricia.
Well, thank both of you for coming on the show. I really
appreciate the invite.
Really enjoyed having both of you on.
It was fun, and I will let you close.
Okay, Leland. So I'm going to definitely check. Okay, and I'm going to come see you on Sundays at 7. I think anybody interested in AI should probably check you out, right? I mean, beginners would understand what's going on. Do you think?
Yeah, we just want this to be a wholesome kind of thing where people aren't dealing with trying to figure it out for themselves. We don't want it to be a hard crunch of here's the next AI, learn this. We want to take our time so that people can figure it out instead of just be brainwashed by what's coming at them in the feeds, not knowing what to do next. So you're all more than welcome to stop by, Patricia. Just visit the .tv is probably the easiest way to find what's going on, and you'll see our last broadcast from Sunday coming out in a couple of days. So should be a live one.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Leland. I'm so glad you came on the show.
All right, bye-bye.
And take care. Boy, was that fun. I'm going to learn more about AI, and you can too. So check out Best AI. That was Leland Best. So anyway, let me go and respect your time. It is actually, it was really late. It's like 1:30. Wow. I got to get back to work. So you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow at noon for Bull City Hangout. Ciao for now. Wow, this thing isn't working right. Let me try it again.